It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Wake your ass up, fool. Johnjay and Rich. What's crack-a-lackin'? This is the big boss dog. Snoopy Deagle Double Jizzle. Bang, boom. What you gonna do? Johnjay and Rich. We're not talking about Ren 1010. We're not talking about Lassie. It's the one and only dog, y'all. The classy, sassy, big Snoop Deagle Double Jizzle. In your face to me and in the place to be. And you're listening to Johnjay and Rich. Wake your ass up, fool.
Johnjay and Rich. Give us a call, 877-937-1047. Text us. Text JJR and whatever you want to say to the number 96893. The Couples Podcast. It's also called Couples Therapy Podcast, but Couples Podcast flows out of my mouth a lot easier, much like we've been in meetings because I say 3 things you need to know. Kyle's 3 things. 3 things. Like it just comes out a certain way for me.
Here's a couple of things.
Right? So the Couples Podcast is something we started to do on Sundays. Rich did it first, and Peyton and Kadeem did it, and then Blake and I did it. Blake and I did the most recent one. So if you go to wherever you get podcasts from, Johnjay and Rich On Demand channel, you can hear it. You have to scroll down. I was trying to listen to it yesterday because I haven't heard the whole thing yet. And I was so once you get on demand, you got to scroll down to find it. Unless, of course, you subscribe, then I guess it's on your phone or something like that.
Yeah, it shows up.
Yeah. And speaking of couples, yesterday, towards the end of the show, I posted this message from my wife, Blake. I don't know if you guys saw it, where she fell down the steps, and she was trying to meditate, and a dog pooped in the room. Meanwhile, she was meditating. She does this meditation every day with this group of people on Zoom. And she was meditating, and she smelt the poop, but she was in the middle of meditation. Then when she went to go clean the poop was gone. She thinks one of our dogs ate it. It's all on my Instagram. You can see it on my Instagram. So one of the things that Blake's doing, my wife, is her and my sister started this spin-off company of Love Pup, our dog rescue. It's called Love Pup Plus. And it's in the very beginning stages. And it's kind of cool because I'm talking about it because it's been about 2 years they've been working on it. And it's not fully launched yet, but there's a website right now. And so my sister, who has deals with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, and she lives in Hollywood, she's in charge of content, kind of, right? But Blake is the salesperson for the company and also somewhat of the face of the company, because one of the reasons this company started is because everybody was always asking Blake dog questions all the time. My dog ate a bunch of this. What do I do? All these questions. How do I get my dog to do this, right? So they started this company called Love Pup Plus. So 2 days ago, my sister and Blake have this meeting, and they need to come up with content. And so, I buy a freaking microphone for the thing, and then Blake goes and buys a gimbal, whatever that is.
Those are amazing.
And all these things, right? So I had to go to this meeting yesterday afternoon. It was over at at 5:30. Then Blake and I had dinner, and then I get into show mode where I'm working on today's show. But instead, she's like, I need you to help me film this video. And I'm like, it's 7. It's almost 7. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to. What do you mean? I got to get.
Which is midnight for us.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, it's starting anything at 7 is a no-go.
I got my routine. I got my wind down routine. But I also want to be, a husband. I think I talk about that in the podcast, compromise. You have to compromise in relationships. So we open up the package of the microphone, and I can't get the microphone to work, and Dutch is working on the microphone, my son, and it's 3 things about senior dogs. And then I shoot this video of her in the front yard, and she's supposed to, one of the clip is you can walk your senior dog on short walks. And so I'm filming her walking the dog, but she doesn't have a leash. I said, you need a leash. I go, if you don't have a leash, everyone's going to get mad at me you're going to be mad at you for posting a video of you walking a dog without a leash. So she goes to get the leash, and she hands me the dog, and I'm holding the dog. It's Lego. And the sun's going down, right? So I'm like, dang it, we should have done this earlier. Why are we doing this so late? This is stupid.
Now you got the tired stress,
do it
too.
tomorrow. But then here, the sun, let me walk over this part of the yard. I got the phone out, and I'm looking, okay, the light looks good over here. And I walk over to the corner of the yard, and there's a hole in our yard, and I bite it. I wipe out.
Oh, no. Much like Jeff Bezos next to the space capsule.
That's right.
Worse.
Oh, no, that's bad.
This was bad.
Yeah, so I wipe out, and I'm so mad at her, right? But I get up, and then she comes out, and I tell her I fell, and she's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, yeah, I did. And so after we're done filming the video, I go and look at security camera footage, and sure enough, you could see it. So I posted it on my Instagram. So if you go to Instagram, and then I showed her the video of her, of me falling, and she's laughing her ass off uncontrollably. She's laughing so uncontrollably that after a while I couldn't take it anymore, and I just started to film. So I started to film her, like the last part of her laughing for half an hour, and then I go, my ankle hurts. She goes, no, you're fine. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. Like, my ankle hurts right now. Like, I quit. Like, there's a hole in my whole foot went into a hole, and I wiped out.
Where's the hole from? Do we know?
Oh, yeah, dude. I want to sue.
That's even worse.
Arcadia Water. I have this every I think I don't know if you ever seen me post videos of sometimes there's irrigation and sometimes there's a big bubble in my front yard.
Oh, yeah.
And the water people have come and gutted our front yard a couple times. They left a hole there, so I fell in the hole. But anyway, and then I thought at the end of the day, and there's a couple of comments on it, that it's like, my wife started the day falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
I ended the day falling in our front yard.
You're really connected as a couple.
Yeah, it's like a double parallel in a movie when it starts and how it ends.
That's this perfect bookend.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, check out the video because
I think it's
I
weird.
see the video of her laughing. I don't see the video of you falling.
you got to wait.
Oh, it's at
it's
the
in the
end.
It's at the end. It's at the end of the video.
Okay, tricky.
Like it cuts to the video of me in the security camera video, and then you see me wipe out. And then I was going to try to do that somebody, you know that thing.
Yeah, that trend.
I couldn't edit it right. I was so tired. I was like, forget it, stupid Smash Mouth.
Put it out there.
Are you okay? Did you
Yeah,
hurt
my
yourself?
ankle hurts. My ankle. I put my ankle in the cold plunge a little bit longer this morning. And,
Yeah, that might help.
yeah, but it still hurts. I mean, I got my treadmill in here. I was hoping I could be able to get my steps in. But,
Are you
know,
going to let it ruin your day today, too?
my ankle?
No, the whole thing.
This is why you shouldn't do anything after 7 p.m. when you host a morning show. It's really, truly why.
I do.
Somebody's going to get hurt or mad. You just can't. You just have to relax. You just have
Falling. And here's the thing too. Like she says to me, if that happened to me, you'd laugh. I go, I wouldn't. I don't. I'm one of those. For some reason, I don't laugh when people get hurt. You know what I mean? But I remember my mom laughing her ass off when my dad got hurt.
Yeah, that's a
all
thing.
the time. I think there's something to do with wives getting some serious pleasure out of their husbands getting hurt. Because she laughed and giggled and giggled and giggled, and it was brutal. So if you go to Johnjay Van Ness on Instagram, you can see the video that I made in the front yard, which is so rookie, and then you can see the video of me wiping out. So that's at Johnjay Van Ness on Instagram. What do you got coming up, Colin? 3 things you need to know.
If you happen to be maybe in not the greatest mood, I've got a healthy habit that you can add to your daily life to improve your mood. Tell you what it is next with Johnjay and Rich.
Here we go. I wake up with that. Get up. Johnjay and Rich.
A text that we just got is a reference to yesterday being tax day. It's from a 480 number. It says, Rich said he didn't think there were any shredded tax guys. I am shredded tax guys.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I did say that.
She says, I am married to a shredded tax guy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so,
then.
I'd like to see a picture of this shredded tax guy. So you can always text us. You text JJR and whatever you want to say to number 96893. Kyle, what are 3 things we need to know?
This is kind of scary knowing how many people are on Ozempic. The FDA actually issued an alert telling all of us there's actually counterfeit Ozempic that could be in the U.S. drug supply. So not just being sold off market. This is actually in supply with all the others. They seized a bunch of counterfeit medications last week, but still are saying some of them could be out there. So they're encouraging patients, wholesalers, pharmacies, and healthcare professionals to check their Ozempic just to make sure. And if you don't know what you're looking for, bring it to a pharmacy so they can check it, because these counterfeit versions of Ozempic are actually really dangerous because you have to inject it, and so it's putting your health at risk. So something to be very aware of because it is dangerous. So I thought this was kind of cool. A new study suggests taking probiotics can actually reduce your negative mood. People in this study tracked their emotional state each day, showed a clear and consistent decline in negative feelings after taking probiotics for just 2 weeks. It's all the gut health, right? That's the whole craze right
Everything
now. It's
comes
like
from that.
your gut health affects your entire body, your mood, everything about it. So start taking those probiotics.
That's the thing. I went to go work out yesterday and I did a core workout, and where I go work out, they have like these like digital like trainers on the TV, and in the meditation portion, they were like, okay, touch your core because that's where all of your feelings come from, your butterflies, your gut feelings, your gut health. I was like, what is going on in this thing right now? But it sounds exactly like what you're talking about. I did. I was like, this is weird, but I did it.
So I love that, though, because I feel like if we can take control of our health, we'll all be healthier.
a good point. It's a good point. If we're not sick, we're healthier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we all know the 5-second rule, but they did a study to find out how long is too long. Is it like, have you seen the meme of like something drops on the ground and the germs go, hold on. 1, 2, and then at 5 seconds, they hop on whatever it is. So there's a Chicago microbiologist who put the 5-second rule to the test to scientifically gauge if it is safe to eat food that has fallen on the floor. And as it turns out, they found every sample of evidence had a little bit of germs on it, no matter how much time it's spent on the floor. So even 0 seconds is too long.
Unless you're hungry.
Unless you're hungry, and unless you don't care about a little bacteria on your food, it's fine. They did say the longer it stayed on the ground, the more bacteria it got. So that kind of gives a little bit of leeway when you're going in your head. You're like, well, at least it wasn't on there 10 seconds. I only have 5 seconds.
I mean,
bacteria.
if you declare the rule to 5-second rule, then you pick it up, I think you're fine.
That's right. And that's 3 things you need to know.
It's time for Peyton's predictions. What's the vibe today, Peyton?
We're going to talk about what you're secretly the best at based on your zodiac sign.
Good morning, Megan. What's your sign?
Aries.
Okay, Aries, you are low-key the best at starting drama and then pretending like you have no idea what's going on. You will light the match, walk away, and then come back and be like, oh my gosh, what happened? You are the main character and the plot twist at the same exact time.
Oh, I agree. That is so me.
Yeah, I think that's pretty on brand for our fiery Aries, for sure.
Thank you, Megan.
Right? Thank you.
Hello, Augustus.
Hey, Leo. Hayden.
I got you. Yes, we're Leos. Okay, Leos, we are secretly the best at being a walking movie trailer. We show up, the music changes, the lighting gets warmer, everyone starts looking at us, and then boom, the whole room is watching our show, and we knew it would happen.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I think so too. Pretty valid.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good morning, Hudson. What's your sign?
Hi, I'm a Virgo, just like you, Johnjay.
What up, dog?
Gotcha. Okay, for my Virgos, what you are secretly the best at, you're the silent fixer. You're out here analyzing people like a human lie detector while reorganizing your entire life in your head. You'll clock everyone's red flags and have the exit strategy for it. MVP behavior for sure.
I don't know about you, Hudson, but that's me 100%.
All right, thank you so much.
You got it.
Doesn't want to give it up.
It's like, just you, bro. We share a sign, but not me.
Maybe not.
Harper, what's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, Scorpio, this is what you're the best at. You're the absolute best at knowing stuff that you were never supposed to know. You just had a feeling is actually code for that. You scrolled on Instagram and found all of this information. You are the FBI and the drama, Harper.
Yeah, that's okay. My brother was just on Hudson.
Is he the Virgo?
Hudson and Harper.
Yeah.
I love that you guys are calling. That's so fun.
Those are great names. Your parents did good by you
They
guys.
did. Alliteration.
Okay.
Good talk.
How about for Libras?
Yeah, Kyle is my Libra. Libra, you are secretly the best at being messy in the most aesthetic way possible. The drama, it's chaotic, but the delivery is beautiful. You'll post maybe a crying selfie and somehow it gets 300 likes in a brand deal. You're softcore chaos with great lighting.
Soft core.
I know you're against like the crying
I
on
know.
social media, but like I could see it happening.
I do like presentation. I think it's very important.
Yes.
How about Pisces?
Pisces, Richie, you are secretly the best at turning a 5-minute convo into a 3-hour emotional TED Talk. You live in your own rom-com soundtrack, and you will cry about a cloud if it looks too beautiful. You are absolutely a poetic menace.
You know, my nickname for my kids is TED Talk.
Oh my gosh, that's
Did you
funny.
get a TED Talk from Dad?
That's awesome.
You can do anything you want to do in life.
If we didn't get to your sign, they are all posted on our website at johnjayandrich.com. Matthew, good morning. What's up?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for holding, dude. What's up?
Of course. So I have a controversial opinion in regards to adults complaining about their income when they work low-income jobs that are meant for younger adults getting an experience. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that opinion.
But you cut out for a little bit. You said you have an opinion on people that are working, I mean, adults are working on younger people jobs?
Correct. And then complaining about their low incomes.
Okay. You got an example?
Yeah, fast food is a big one. And then being like a food or goods stocker at, any shop, Target, Walmart.
The problem is fast food, they pay so much money now.
Yeah.
I went to Chick-fil-A yesterday, and they're paying $17 an hour.
McDonald's paying 20.
Excuse
22.
me?
Yeah.
But it's like $20 for a carton of eggs.
I remember I had a pizza place, and we were paying $13 an hour, and it was hard to get people because they were all leaving, going to McDonald's, was paying $20, sometimes $22 an hour. So is that what you mean?
Yeah, because then they end up still complaining, I can't make a livable wage working at McDonald's, at Burger King.
So what's
what's your controversial opinion?
That they need to get a different job. Those jobs are.
So you think you think the high schoolers should be the ones working at McDonald's?
Because it's an
not
entry,
a 40-year-old man.
It's an entry-level position.
Exactly.
I remember, though, like my brother was a college graduate and still working at a produce section at a grocery store. It's because all the overtime and all the, holiday hours. And he couldn't get a corporate job that paid as much as working in produce for, I'd say, 10 years after he graduated. It was like there was nothing that came close. So a lot of times it's fine. You're just stacking up the cash.
It's like you just got to you got to get work where you can get work.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like the job market right now is so tough that people are willing to do any and everything.
Also, Matthew, I kind of feel like there's probably people with high-paying jobs that still complain about their salary and what they're doing.
True. That's true.
People complain about everything. Everybody complains about everything.
Yeah.
Well, what is your controversy? You're saying that they shouldn't complain, or they should go get a job somewhere else? Is that what you're saying?
That they should leave those entry positions for the younger people that are needing to get into the workforce to gain experience to then get a better paying job.
That makes sense.
The problem is that you have to get a job to make ends meet. And if you can't find the job in your field, you have to take whatever you can, especially if you support a family. But you're saying, do what you got to do. Just don't complain about it.
I suppose. But, by the time you're in your late 20s or early 30s, you should have probably already been employed. And you no longer need to be in that position.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a mailman.
Okay, and is that something that's happened to you?
No.
But did something happen that
mailman's a great
sparked this conversation? Like, what made you want to call us and say, I'm so irritated with people that are complaining about their job?
No, I mean, I just see it going around on, Facebook, Instagram, just everyone complaining about, we need to unionize and strike to get better wages when you work at these type of jobs.
Okay. How many steps a day you get?
I do between 10,000 and 13,000, depending on if it's a full coverage day.
What do you have, like 2 streets? That's nothing. I thought a mailman would have 30,000 steps or something. Unless you're
5 miles, though.
No way, man. I think
steps. Sorry, I do 10 to 13 miles. I've never counted the steps.
Okay, 10 to 13 miles. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a lot of miles.
That's a lot of steps.
He's probably around 30,000 steps a day.
Yeah, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. Because I think one of my biggest days was I think I did 19,000 steps, and I think that might have been 4.5 miles, 5 miles. Holy crap, dude. Way to go. Way to go, Matthew. Stop complaining. You should be complaining. You're doing a lot of walking. All right, dude. Well, thanks for calling in, man.
Well, thank you guys for having me. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Don't get upset if people call in and start yelling at you. Once they hear it.
It's totally fine. I'm used to it.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. Have a great day.
You as well. Take care.
There's a text here, actually, already. 602 number. Why does everyone think anyone can just get a better job?
That's true.
Mm-hmm. I know. You can always text us. You text JJR to 96893. There is a text here for Kyle, because Kyle's doing the couples podcast on, it's going to drop on Sunday at 10. It says, Johnjay and Rich, Kyle, you got to just randomly yell, ham, on the couples podcast.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But I usually say that to him when he's not paying attention to me or he's disappeared somewhere in the house, which actually happens often.
So it's like a signal to alert you of his presence.
Well, because if he's right in front of me, I'm like, hey, ham. But if I can't find him, I have to go, ham.
There's a cool event coming up with Love Pup. It's called Dog Moms Day, and it is May 3rd. And all the money that we raise, or like the money for the tickets, goes right to rescuing dogs. And it's a really, really cool event. It's at the Ashley Castle in Chandler. the goodie bag or the swag bag is just fantastic. It's got philosophy. It's got skin better. There's just a bunch of stuff in that bag. But there's also like, what do? You get food, right? You hang out because you guys have been to it.
There's food. There's music.
I like the bar.
Yeah, there's a bar.
You can always find me at the bar.
Usually they have like a bunch of local shops and they're selling stuff that you can buy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So it's at lovepupfoundation.org or just go to Instagram, Love Pup Foundation. There should be links there. Rich, what do you got coming up for Life Hacks?
Well, there is a hack that is pretty important. Like if you have to sneeze and you can't sneeze at that moment, I can show you how to stop it so that you can go on with your life.
We got Stacks and Hacks coming up, as well as why did Rich make his wife cry?
Want to talk or throw some shade?
Oh, yeah. Call Johnjay and Rich, 877-937-1047.
Before we get to Stacks and Hacks, a couple of text messages about Matthew who called in earlier. The mailman saying, why are people complaining about their jobs? Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
602 number. Johnjay and Rich, I do not make a livable wage, and my job is certainly not an entry-level job. So the guy who called in this morning, this opinion, isn't very accurate. He's kind of judgmental, just saying. I am administrative assistant at a K-12 charter school, and I live with my folks because as a single woman, I cannot afford to rent a decent apartment yet. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Johnjay and Rich, I've never understood when people have no drive to move up at all. They're fine where they're working, and they do complain about money. This guy says that. Johnjay and Rich, I got you guys on speed dial every time. Every time I want to call in, I just say to Siri, call Johnjay and Rich.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Stacks and Hacks. I have Stacks information. Rich has Life Hacks. I have random information. A study found that even if you don't work out, you can get some of the same health benefits by just rushing through stuff all the time. Even 5 minutes a day, things like speed vacuuming, a rug can make a big, big difference. The New York Post, and Peyton, I think you have a story about this, The New York Post says there's now a shortage of cousins. Birth rates have been declining. The idea is apparently going viral because of a TikTok where a female millennial talks about it. And don't you hang out with your cousins, Peyton?
I hang out with my cousins all the time. I actually think I'm getting to the point in my life where I'd prefer to hang out with my cousins, which, like, over my friends sometimes. But, I was with them last night. So
Here's the TikTok that's making the concept that no cousins go viral.
You guys ever think about how us millennials are really the last generation of growing up with a ton of cousins and aunts and uncles? Our moms did not have the number of babies as our grandmas did. And I know there's always exception to the rule. But for the most part, our kids, our millennial kids, they're not growing up with the amount of cousins that we did.
No, that's real. My grandma's one of 10, which that's why I have so many cousins.
There you go.
Our family weddings are, no joke, probably 500 people. Which is insane.
Yeah, it's same here.
It's a lot. So
my mom was one of 5, and we had a bunch of cousins, and then now it's just me and my sister. So, we made sure our kids are right around the same age to get along, but that's it.
I'm one of 8, so my kids have a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
You're the last. Is this you? 9% of Americans are in a new spring cleaning poll said that their garage is so full of junk they can't park the car in there. I got a lot of junk in my garage, a lot of junk.
Yeah, you still park in there somehow, though.
I do. Yeah.
When I went over to Johnjay's house the other day, he took me to his garage, and it was like a mountain of hoodies. Like a mountain.
And then I showed you the rack.
Yeah.
I bought this coat rack to hang, a portable coat rack, to hang all my hoodies there. And my wife thinks it's stupid.
She's like, they're going to get eaten by moths out there.
I keep here's the thing that people, like, I wake up in the morning, I get dressed in my closet. I put a hoodie on. I walk downstairs. I get in my car. I drive to work. In here, it's cold.
Yep, it's cold right now.
When I leave here, I take my hoodie off and throw it in the backseat of my car. And then I do the same thing the next day. Then the backseat gets full of hoodies. Then I take all those hoodies and put them in the trunk whenever I have to drive anybody anywhere. And the trunk gets so full, I take out all the hoodies and throw them in the garage and they pile up on the floor.
Why didn't you put a coat rack in your trunk? That would solve all the problems there.
So I bought a coat rack on Amazon, and now I just don't have hangers. And then the other day, my wife goes, let's go to Target and get your hangers. I'm like, I'm not going to Target.
You can just get them on Amazon. They're cheap.
That's what I said to her. I said, I'll just buy a bunch on Amazon. I haven't done it yet. I didn't want to go to Target because I know it's not a 5 second. If I go to Target by myself, I'll get the hangers in 5 seconds. If I go to Target with her,
you're walking out with a full cart.
Yeah. Then I got to buy more stuff. Do you have a system like this? They found that the perfect way to wake up in the morning is to let some sunlight in before your alarm clock goes off. 20 minutes before your alarm clock goes off, they're now selling a device in Japan, and it's huge, where it will open the curtains and let the sunlight in 20 minutes before your alarm goes off, and that way you don't wake up groggy, you wake up feeling fine. The problem is we wake up, there is no sunlight.
It's still dark.
Yeah, I saw
Zero
that
dark 30.
There's this alarm clock that has this like light thing on it that rises with the sun too, but that wouldn't work for
No,
us
Blake
either.
has that. I got that for my wife, and it's really neat, and it works. It's like it gives you the sunlight. Yeah, that's cool.
I usually sleep with the blinds open on the weekends so the sun wakes me up.
I do not.
You know, that's too old school for this.
What do you got for life hacks, Rich?
Talk about sneezing. In fact, Johnjay, you sneezed as I was putting this life hack together this morning. And sometimes you just can't sneeze when you want to sneeze. There's a little tickle in your nose. Who knows what it's from? And you don't want to sneeze. Well, here's what you do. If you feel an impending sneeze, you really don't want to sneeze in that second. Covering your nostrils and breathing through your mouth can stop it from happening. However, be careful because sometimes it comes back with a vengeance. Try to do it and then go somewhere where you can sneeze freely because it doesn't get rid of it forever. It just postpones it for a few minutes. But that airflow will stop and alleviates the irritant that is making you sneeze. That life hack and many more at johnjayandrich.com.
It's the John Jay and Rich radio program. 2 names, 4 hosts,
And a whole lot of fun.
It's John Jay and Rich.
Our phone number, 877-937-1047. Sienna, hi. What's going on?
Hi, this is Sienna. I'm 10 years old. I listen to you guys every day on the radio when I'm going to school and all the time.
Oh, well, thank you, Sienna. Where you go to school?
Stacey Peoria Primary.
Ooh, smart one.
Ooh, all right. Well, thank you for listening,
Thank
Sienna.
you.
Thank you. Have a
You're
great day.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Well, that's nice. You can always call us at 877-937-1047 or text us. Text JJR. And whatever you want to say to the number 96893. Rainn Wilson of The Office. Who did he play in The Office? Anybody know?
Dwight Schrute.
Dwight. He, the theme song to The Office, there's words to the song. I don't know if you guys ever heard it, but he was pretty vocal about it, and he shared it with everybody.
The Office, a show about a boss. Mostly it's a show about Dwight. Show is a lot of fun. Mostly Dwight's a lot of fun. Remember Stanley. Mostly I remember Dwight. Krasinski's manly. No one wants a bobblehead of Jim. Let's face it, it's a show about Dwight. Let's get real.
Okay, Rich. Why'd you make your wife cry?
Well, it wasn't on purpose.
Oh, I thought it was on purpose.
Well, kind of on purpose.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right, so most nights, towards the end of the night, I like to listen to music, and sometimes Stacey will join me in my little room where I've got my little speaker set up, and I put on records, and I just kind of chill out a little bit. But when Stacey comes to join me, I kind of change the music because I want her to enjoy it. So I got to go to her genre, and the goal is always to give chills. I want her to feel the song and get chills. But when I started playing this particular song, I mean, it wasn't long, but the tears were flowing, and she cried hard when I played "Fast Car" by Tracy Chapman. Is a winder downer.
It's a good song.
I mean, it's a good song, and I thought she's going to get the chills and be like, "This sounds so good." But she's crying because of Tracy Chapman's relationship with her man in the song. Doesn't seem like it goes very, very well towards the end of the song.
It does not.
You get a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere.
And like, she was sad for Tracy Chapman's struggle. And I mean, like, she was mad at me at the end of the session where she was like, what? I cannot.
Is she really crying because of the words of the song?
I mean,
this song's not about a car?
I mean,
I have no idea. I thought it was about a car.
Well, the fast car is a metaphor for life.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Oh,
literally
my
thought it was about a
goodness.
car. I never listened to words. I would listen to the meaning of the
You
words.
get a fast
So
car.
what do you mean?
I got a plan to get us out of here. Been working
Fast
at
car.
the
We're getting out of here.
She's trying to get a better job, just like the male guy wanted her to.
I'm glad you played this version and not the new version that went #1 by what's his name?
Luke Combs?
Yeah.
I went for the original.
Because I feel like this song, I mean, it was a big song, but like when, what's his name, Luke Combs did
Combs
it, it went like #1, and
Oh, yeah,
like
it's huge.
everyone like discovered that it wasn't his original song, that it was Tracy.
Well, that's good for her.
I know, it's
Because
awesome
this
for
song's
her.
like 30 years old.
I know, that's why I said I'm glad that you played her the orig.
She talks about like getting a better job, and then he sees more of his alcohol than he does his kids.
What?
And so now she's going to move on and leave him.
Never heard any of that. I just thought it was about Fast Car. I thought it was like about Lightning McQueen.
So
No.
I mean, so we finish, and I'm literally holding my wife going, it's okay. Tracy Chapman turned out just fine. She had lots of other good songs where she's happy about those songs.
Really?
I'm like,
What other songs
she
did you have?
could
They just weren't hits.
Well, she had
a lot of other sad ones too.
Yeah, I guess that was a sad one too.
Okay, are there other songs that make her cry? Other songs that make you cry, Kyle?
You know what? It's always the Sarah McLachlan Angel in the Arms of Angel.
That one's sad.
That one just is tearjerker for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a song that makes you cry, Peyton?
Yeah, actually, Fall Apart by Post Malone makes me cry my eyes out every single time I hear it. Every time. And I think it was because I was like going through my first heartbreak when that song would come on and I was like, oh, crying. And then I've seen him in concert twice and I cried both times.
So many thoughts going through my brain, and now I'm taking these shots like it's Novocaine. Yeah. Ooh, I fought apart.
Yeah, I cried yesterday listening to a song, I Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection by Nelson.
Oh, yeah. That's
You know
a
what
good
I'm
one.
talking about?
I
It
can't
came
live
out-
without your love and affection.
Yeah, anyway, I was thinking about my wife doing dishes, and that song came on shuffle, and I was like, this is the universe being like, be thankful for your wife.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, so
That was
anyway,
so sentimental.
Are we in like a Mercury in retrograde where everybody's wussing out on us now?
I have not cried during this for a song, but that's because I don't think I listen to any of the words.
Is there any song that would make you emotional?
I don't
Because
know.
nothing will make you cry.
Right.
People dying don't even make you cry.
Oh,
but
yeah,
when it
that's
gets
true.
you a little emotional at all,
I
would
don't
you
think
feel
so.
anything?
I don't think so.
Like no songs that you go to a concert and you get like goosebump chills and you're like, oh my goodness,
Well, that's the goal.
insane.
That's always
Usually
my
it's because
goal.
it's something cool.
Yeah, it's to
No,
get
okay.
chill.
I get goosebumps. Like there's, what's it? I like Lose Yourself by Eminem. I get goosebumps when I hear that song.
Okay.
I do.
That's a kind of an emotional one. It's
a lot
talking
of
about
Eminem
his
songs
life.
give me goosebumps, but don't make me cry.
Lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow.
You want to know what's consuming me right now? This is literally consuming me, and it's so stupid. In fact, I woke up this morning. I had to tweet about it this morning. It has nothing to do with music. It has to do with a TV show that I'm watching, and it's the prequel to Yellowstone. It's called 1923.
Oh, I just started that this morning.
Oh, you did?
you're gonna love it.
What do you think? How far are you?
1923. I think I am in the second episode.
Okay, I'm like on the fourth or fifth episode. Now, Rich already finished it, and there's 2 seasons that are out. And I'm just I'm waiting. I'm not going to work hard to figure it out. I'm just going to let it happen. But like last night, I'm in bed, and I'm trying to do the math on how Harrison Ford and his kids or his nephews somehow end up being Kevin Costner's parents, and I don't see the math there.
I know. I'm still trying to figure out which one is John.
I know. That's what, they don't do a very good job of letting you know who's who.
Not a lot of
and then
names.
somebody died. But then what I'm trying to get at is that it's 1923, okay? So that means if it's Kevin Costner's dad, that means Kevin Costner, when was he born? I mean, what's his name on the show on Yellowstone?
John Dutton.
John Dutton. So when is Kevin Costner's character born?
Well,
in
it
the
can't
50s?
be. It can't be in 23 because he'd be
No,
100
I
years
know.
old on
That's what I'm
So
trying
is
to say.
Kevin Costner one of the kids' kids?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm in bed last night, and I'm
figure it
putting the
out.
characters, and I'm trying to say, okay, so Tim McGraw was in 1883, and then had this one kid, and then this kid is, where did Harrison Ford come? And then I'm lying in bed going, okay, that doesn't make it. And I'm literally spinning.
They get you a little closer in the second season, but I still think it's a little confusing. Even though I think there's an answer, it's a little confusing.
So it's over, and Kevin Costner's not born yet?
I think what we're seeing is one of the kids that is born is Kevin Costner's dad. One of the new kids that's yet to arrive is going to be
Kevin
his
Costner's
dad.
So will there be another show about that? Because also
There could be. You could have a
this show-
1952 and it would probably be fine.
Because this show has to pretty much, I thought about this. They either have to make it, let's say it's so successful they do 10 seasons.
They can't.
It's got to be 10 seasons about the same year. Because
Yeah.
eventually it's going to be 1924.
I think.
And then what? You got to change the show name?
I
You know
think
what
they
mean?
wrap it. I think the second season ends and it's the end of the series. I don't see how they're going to do anything more. They might, but I don't see how they're going to do
But they
anything more.
could because obviously the bloodline is still there because Kevin Costner's born. and he's
Right.
Yellowstone.
You know, it's somebody takes over Yellowstone that's a Dutton.
Oh,
right?
guys, L.com actually has a Dutton family tree.
Okay, I was going to Google the Dutton family tree and see if they could explain it to me because I find it so difficult because it's like the number one show.
So is Tim McGraw like his great-great-great-grandfather
it starts with Tim McGraw.
Right.
That's where it starts.
So he would be his great-great-great-grandfather.
I don't know if this is right. It's hard to read.
Hello, Johnjay and Rich. Good morning. Are you calling about Yellowstone?
Yes.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, so it's actually 1883, 1923, and then 1944 that's going to be coming out.
Oh, really?
Oh, that solves everything right there.
Okay.
Because you can see Kevin Costner easily being born in 1944.
Sure, that tracks.
The baby that Spencer and his wife had is a John Dutton.
Yeah, his
so
name's
we
John.
won't know.
And that John has
and
the
that John
John.
has another John.
I didn't want to ruin that for you guys since you're not there yet.
That's
though.
not ruining it. I mean, you got to know there's going to be babies coming.
Okay,
No,
I'm
don't worry.
We can tell they're
But if there's a
Okay.
1944, then I'm all good because
Yeah,
they
thank God.
they wrapped
Yeah.
up the 1920-23 storyline is wrapped up.
Thank God, because I'm like literally keeping me up at night trying to figure it out.
It's good though. It's really.
And by the way, which is a good sign. If I don't cry to songs and TV shows keep me up at night, I think life is good. All right, thank you so much for calling in.
I can't
Yeah,
believe you
absolutely.
thought Fast Car was about a Ferrari.
It sounds about a fast car.
Johnjay and Rich.
Hi, Megan.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for holding.
No worries. I'm happy to be here.
Good. Well, what's going on? How can we help you?
All right. So here's the thing. My neighbor, who's like 21 years old, keeps Snapchatting me, and not like in a way that's like, you know, hey, how's it going type of Snapchat. I'm talking like blurry shirtless mirror pics or like random videos of him like singing in his car. And you know what's even worse is I get the occasional you up at like 1 a.m. Okay? Like, and you know what? Here's the thing. He's like mad at me because I'm not snapping him back. He actually told me, you must not be interested since you left me on open. And it's like, sweetheart, I'm 26 years old. I pay for my own dental. I don't have time to communicate exclusively through disappearing selfies and like those stupid emojis. It's like, I just want to know, do you guys think I'm being rude, or is this just the dating scene now? Like, am I lowering my standards to the energy of 2016 just to be like interesting? I don't know anymore. I could use your opinion on this.
That's so funny. It's almost like you should have just said, yeah, I'm not interested. No need to send anymore, bro. Like, come on.
Would you be interested in him if he was like, if he wanted to text you or something? Is it the Snapchat that's the problem, or is it the fact that he's 21 and he's your neighbor?
You know what? He is 21. He is my neighbor. And you know what? Who the heck is still using Snapchat in 2025?
I don't use Snapchat either. I'm like, who uses that? I know. But I guess so.
Well, that's how my kids all communicate with Snapchat. You know, but also you had to give him your snap, right? You had to give him your snap, so you knew he was going to snap you, and also like maybe he's pissed because you ruined his streak. Maybe you had.
Oh, well, sorry about it.
He's got to grow up. Yeah, I gave him my snap, but I kind of thought we were adults and knew how social media worked, and it sounds like he's just jumping on the bandwagon for the first time.
Have you ever responded to any of his snaps?
No.
You've never once done anything, sent him anything back?
No, like I didn't want him to think I was interested in him.
Okay,
like,
but it sounds like you didn't really answer Peyton's question. Did she?
I don't know if you did. If he wanted to text you, would you be texting him back? Like, is he good looking?
Not really. He's just not my type. But, like, here's the thing. You accept people on your social media platforms all the time that you don't even know. It's kind of just like accepting, you know, and what I thought was like accepting a friendship or someone you can just, like, you know, communicate with on, like, memes and stuff. But I didn't think he was actually going to take it a step further. Like, if you want to do that, like, normally you use, like, a dating app, like Field or Hinge or something. Or, I don't know. I just think this whole situation is weird.
You can also just delete your Snap if you don't use it. Like, there's different levels of social media, right? Like, I could see Snap being exactly what he's doing. Like, if you wanted more mature messages from someone, you give them your Facebook, right? If you,
Sure, yeah.
it's like Snap. That's exactly what Snap is what he's doing. So he's probably figures, oh my God, this hot older chick. She's 26. I'm only 21. She gave me her
First of all,
Snap.
did you just say older?
Yeah.
I'm saying no. Wait. I'm saying she is older. He's 21. Like I said.
No, she brought it up.
She brought it up. So I'm like, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. He's like, here's this hot older chick, gave me her snap. She's 26. I'm 21. Maybe there's a chance, you could teach him a few things. So maybe that's what he's thinking, but you're not biting. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I still think he just needs to get over himself. Like, social media isn't that complicated. Just, you want to send
then block him.
fine.
Yeah, I would block him if you don't want to date him. But honestly, I do think that is where we are going in the dating world.
Really?
Downhill.
Well,
downhill.
If I'm listening to Megan, what I'm hearing from her that she's not really saying is he's put in the most minimal effort that you could possibly put in to get somebody to pay attention to him. And she's not feeling that. She's like, no, you got to try a lot harder for me. Right, Megan? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I don't want him to try. He can send me a dumb snap every once in a while, but geez, stop being so thirsty. And if I'm not responding, clearly that should be some sort of indicator.
That's a PSA.
Okay.
By the way.
All right, Megan, we're good. Thank you so much for calling in. I hope we helped you out.
Yeah.
Okay, block him. This is John, Jay, and Rich, and we can help you with all kinds of social media issues. That's what we do here. It's John, Jay, and Rich. Good morning, Mike.
Morning.
What's up, man? Thanks for holding.
Okay, so I don't even know where to start with this. It's a little embarrassing, but I will launch in. My wife of 8 years just left me for a woman. Straight up packed a bag, moved in with some chick named Tori who makes pottery and drinks oat milk, all the stereotypes, and I'm just here trying to figure out if my whole marriage was a lie or if somehow I drove her into the arms of someone who wears Birkenstocks year-round. So I've been spiraling, deep dive, stalking her on Instagram, analyzing captions, and I'm scrolling through old texts to see if there was clues that I missed, it's a friggin' murder mystery or something, and I don't even know if I am heartbroken or confused or just insulted. Was it about me? Was I that bad? I just need a little advice. I need someone to tell me how to process this without completely losing my mind or buying a kayak. I almost bought a kayak yesterday. Who buys a kayak?
People that go on the water, I suppose.
I kind of feel like it's not even about you. It was probably her own journey. I don't know what your ex-wife's name is, but she probably married you thinking she was into it and then discovered herself somewhere along the way and then just said, listen, this relationship isn't serving me anymore. This is not who I am. I have to go be me. That's just a guess, though. I mean, without knowing anything else about your relationship, I wouldn't spiral too much about it. Probably really doesn't have a whole lot to do with you.
I think you're right. That happened to a friend of mine, and his wife is still with the person that she left him for, and they've been together a long time. They've had a great relationship. Now, the thing about the kayak, though, that's interesting.
Who buys a kayak?
No, because is the kayak symbolism for the female anatomy?
I think because it's
you would, Johnjay. This is so annoying.
It's how I feel like it's how gay girls get on the water, and I'm I should be buying something with a motor in it, but I'm trying to be attractive to her.
What is happening here?
So gay girls get on the water?
Stereotypes are
I know,
Mama.
All gay girls wear Birkenstocks. Okay.
My book, they do.
Gay girls get on the water a certain way? Is that what he meant? How do you get...
gay girls only use kayaks. They don't use motorboats.
Oh, is that what the kayak thing was about?
I don't know. I don't know.
We're all a little confused
He's
right now.
all over the place right now.
Lost
He
now.
said he was spiraling. That seems true. That seems true.
I see where she left you.
Confirmed. You are spiraling. We confirm it.
I think Mike, though, you got to listen to Kyle. Don't take that weight because it probably realistically isn't you. And if it was you, I bet you your wife probably would have told you on her way out.
It's just a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Because you feel pretty rejected.
Yeah. Also, if there's this part of me, and I don't know if this is bad or biased or but I'm okay, let's say she cheated on me with a guy. I think I'd be doing worse. At least this woman offers something I couldn't possibly offer. And then I'm is that mean? Am I a bad person for thinking that? I don't know.
It'd be cool if at some point she could sit down to you and explain kind of what her heart's journey was.
Yeah.
Just as because you guys do have a relationship, a committed relationship, would be cool if she could try to explain it to you so you could wrap your heart around it a little bit. Because just being bitter and pissed isn't going to get you anywhere.
I know. I should have. I mean, here's another thing. Her name is Linda, and I'm like, dude, that's...
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a straight Linda in your life, I mean, I don't know.
Wait, you cut out. You said her name's Linda and what?
Mike.
Yeah, and I'm just like, have you ever met a straight Linda in your entire life?
You are not helping yourself.
I've met a few, actually.
Well, yeah.
I know a lot of straight Lindas.
Our boss
actually.
is
like all my
the big
mom's
boss.
friends.
Her name's Linda, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's straight?
Yep.
I think she's married.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Check that box off the spiral list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And other people buy kayaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mike.
Sorry for all that. I'm just...
We get it, and we're grateful you called us for help. I hope we gave you some help. I think Kyle just nailed it on the head, man. That was a good one. Mike, thanks for calling in, man. Hope you get better.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Bye-bye, Mike. Bye-bye.
Worried about him.
I was in a sheer dress the day that we met. We were both in a rush. We talked for a sec. You fronted me up so we could connect.
Johnjay and Rich. So, taxes. You had to have your taxes in officially by yesterday, right? You can file an extension. You can do whatever. So, it's tax season. So, we thought it'd be fun to find out if anybody, what did you buy? What's the most unhinged thing you bought with your tax refund? Now, you don't need to call and say, I didn't get a tax refund. Because, quite frankly, I didn't get a tax refund either. In fact, it was terrible what happened.
Same.
Terrible what happened in my home yesterday.
Can't
terrible.
relate.
Yeah. So, tell us the most unhinged thing you bought with your tax refund. 877-937-1047. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
What did you buy with your tax refund?
Oh, my kids talked me into buying a puppy.
Cute.
What kind of puppy?
Yeah, so on Sunday we got a mini Australian Shepherd.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
My neighbor has two of them, and they're so dang cute.
Yeah, he is the cutest, and he's got the best temperament, so we're so in love here.
Well, good, Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
877-937-1047. Gunther says my tax refund this year was $9, so I got him a double and a large sweet tea from McDonald's.
There you go.
Money well spent.
Strong choice.
Hi, Don. What did you get that was unhinged? What did you buy with your tax refund?
A divorce.
A what? A what? A what?
Divorce.
A divorce.
A divorce.
Yeah, that's pretty unhinged, I think.
The best money I have ever spent.
Were you waiting for the refund to do the legal paperwork? Is that what it was?
Typically, yeah, I was waiting for it. I caught him in one affair, and we went through marriage counseling. It just didn't seem to work out, and something in my gut kept saying, just file it. And I was like, no, we're going to keep trying for it. I want to make sure things really work. So glad I went through it, because after the paperwork was filed, I had people coming out of the woodwork. He had 7.
Oh. Yeah, money well spent.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad you got out of that, Don.
Yeah.
What's he doing now?
Yep. I have no idea, and I don't care.
Hopefully getting checked.
All right. Thank you, Don.
All I know is I'm good. I listened to my gut, and I kept myself safe. So it was a divorce and then a staycation. So I was all good.
Good for you.
Thanks, Don. Have a great
Thanks,
day.
guys.
877-937-1047. What did you buy with your tax refund? It's a little unhinged. Kennedy says, 10 years ago, I was 19. I got a refund of $1,200. I thought I was so rich, I quit my job at lunch and I went to Utah the next day to see a guy. She's like, we're now married. We're now married.
They're married now.
Yeah.
But $1,200 at 19, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime. That's good.
Jose, what did you buy that was unhinged with your tax refund?
So I bought a cold plunge. I wanted to get your opinion. How do you keep it maintained?
Well, what kind of cold plunge did you get?
I ordered it off Amazon. It's not here yet, but it's like 32 inches wide. I think like 4 feet tall.
Is it one of those ones like the bathtub one that looks at like a bathtub, or is it the The round black one? Which one is it?
Bathtub one.
Oh, okay. I don't know how you keep that maintained. I'm sure that it comes with directions. For me, mine's hooked up to the pool, so it has that automatic thing. You know what I mean? Whatever, the filter and all that.
I think it kind of is like a pool, though. You have to like maintain the water. Yeah, but I don't use it. But I do see my husband like taking chemicals and like putting it in there, and
Like
you have to like
tabs?
drain the water somewhat often. Not like all the time, but you do have to just make sure that the water stays clean.
Send me pictures, Jose, when you get it.
All right. Well,
Let's see how long you can go. All right. Jason, what was something unhinged that you bought?
Well, when you get to be an adult, you get really weirded out about silly things. I bought the Samsung Bespoke all-in-one washer-dryer unit. It dries all by itself.
Okay, so you wash your clothes, leave them in there, and then the dryer turns on and dries the clothes. You have to move them from one thing to another?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's
There is no
nice.
move. It communicates with my phone when it's done with the cycle. It auto-dispenses your fabric softener, your detergents. It's a bit silly, but everybody comes to my house. This is all I talk about for the last couple of months.
That's cool. That's very cool.
That's like so convenient though, because I'm the type that always leaves my stuff in the washer and then it stinks
Yeah, you
because I
gotta
leave it in there
rewash
for
it.
like 3 days and I gotta wash it again.
Yep.
I don't do laundry, and I have no idea what he's talking about, but I think it's great.
Johnjay, your wife would like it.
Yeah, probably. She probably would. Thanks, brother. Thanks,
I was
Jason.
wondering if those things worked or not. Sounds like they work awesome.
Thor, good morning. What did you buy that's unhinged with your tax refund? Thor.
I bought a jiggle board with my tax refund.
Anybody know what that is? What is a jiggle board?
What is that?
It's the company's called TheraPlate, but we refer to it as jiggle board.
Oh, these things where you stand on it and it like drains your lymphatic stuff or whatever.
Yeah, it does all kinds of
It's like
stuff.
a vibrating
it's pretty
plate.
Cool, and
People swear by them.
You can stretch on them and do exercises on them?
That's right. It's right up Johnjay's alley, really.
Do you ever just lie on it in the front side and let it vibrate? Does it feel good?
Gross, Johnjay. You're so gross.
Yeah, I put the recliner on it and left it on all night and slept in the recliner. It's amazing.
That's nice. All right. Thanks,
Oh my
brother.
gosh, it turns your recliner into like the snoo, the little baby
massage
thing
chair.
that always
Thanks, brother. Someone on Facebook says, Ashley says, I got my husband's vasectomy. Casey got tarantulas.
Oh.
Will, good morning. What did you buy with your tax refund that was unhinged?
Good morning, guys. I don't know if it was necessarily unhinged, but you had that caller calling about his wife leaving him for lesbian Linda with the Birkenstocks. She bought a kayak. I also bought a kayak, but I'm not lesbian or Linda.
All right, thanks.
He's like, who buys a kayak? People buy kayaks.
Will buys kayaks.
Lisa did a frozen embryo transfer. That's
Oh, wow.
huge.
Oh, wow.
That's huge. Let's see. Where is this one? 15 years ago. This is right up Kyle, your husband's alley. I spent $350 on a bottle of single malt Scotch whiskey from the Scotch Society. Right? Because then your husband what's he called?
Not Scotch.
But, I mean,
Bourbon.
you get it. Right.
The bourbon and whiskey and Scotch people, they would be like, it's not the same.
No, but I mean, as far as buying an old bottle of alcohol.
Yes, on that note.
Let's see. This person bought 1,500 rounds of ammunition.
No, they're getting ready for something.
Wow, crazy, man. Oh, this person bought a tiger. Okay. I didn't know you could do that. Anyway,
That is definitely unhinged.
shoot us a text. Text JJR, whatever you bought with your tax refund that was unhinged, to 96893. Entertainment news is next with Johnjay and Rich.
Don't drunk dial your ex. Drunk dial us. Call our Johnjay and Rich drunk dial line 602-888-1933.
We're going to do a little entertainment news. What's the latest on the space haters?
I think, and I was actually talking to a couple friends just last night, I think the all-women Blue Origin crew that was sent to space, or somewhat space, completely backfired, because I haven't heard a whole lot of positive things about it at all. Like, people are like, it's kind of privileged that you would go up and then try to pretend like it's changing the world when it's really not. And
Have you heard the conspiracy theories yet?
Which ones? I've heard a couple.
That they weren't really in zero gravity, that they just faked all that. That's why you didn't see it during the
there was a lot of things where they're like, where's their actual protective gear? Like, if they were going Mach 3, which is allegedly the speed, like, they would need some kind of protective gear, helmets, and they come out and their hair's all, like, perfect and whatever. But in any case, there's a lot of, I guess, like Rich said, there's a lot of people who are skeptical, and there were a lot of people who were not happy with it. And Gayle King has something to say to all those people.
Some of them are people I know and like, so I'm a little surprised. I say you should go to Blue Origin and see what they're doing. I was one of those people in the beginning too. Space, why are we spending money on space when we have so much to do here? Space exploration is not an either or, it's a both and. And so once you educate yourself and you see that, I really resent that people are calling it a ride. We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the day. No one called that a ride. A ride sounds frivolous. It sounds insignificant. This was a bona fide flight. I don't like people trying to minimalize what was done there.
And that isn't really the only complaint. I know Emily Ratajkowski, she actually slammed the whole mission, saying this space mission this morning is like basically a load of you know what. She's like saying that you care about Mother Earth and it's about Mother Earth and you're going up into a spaceship that's built and paid for by a company that's single-handedly destroying the planet.
Oh, please.
Look at the state of the world, blah, blah, blah. And she went on to be like, I'm disgusted.
Both of them are bothering me.
Yeah.
First of all, you know, let's all this big space stuff. Let's talk to Emily Ratajkowski and see what she has to say about it.
You know, it seems like people are like, well, you didn't spend this much time talking about the astronauts that were stuck up there for, you know, the better part of a year and a half coming home. You gave more attention to this. I see people complaining about that.
I also see people complaining that they called them astronauts and they were not astronauts.
Passengers. But I don't see the big deal either way. I think it's fun they did it. You know, I think the reason
I think it's fun they did it too, but I think they tried to make it into something more, and that's what people have an issue
They're
with.
getting so much press because it's Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Jeff Bezos' girlfriend, or fiance.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. I mean, if it was Katy Perry stuck in space and they had to go get her 9 months later, they'd get national news. Like, it's a fun thing. It's okay. But I just can't believe it's turning into this huge thing. It's so stupid. I mean, but I wouldn't do it. Now, I do think it was real, by the way. I don't think it was fake. You know what I mean? Do you think it was fake? Why would they spend all? Why would they? I just can't.
I really don't know, but it's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the Star Wars guy? Because I question the way this is written out in front of me. It could be two ways.
Okay.
So I'm curious the real
Okay, so
way.
Johnjay, you watched Narcos, right?
Oh yeah, I love Narcos.
Okay, so you know Diego Luna. He actually was in Narcos, and he's also in the Disney Plus series Andor, which is a Star Wars.
Right.
Now he actually got to keep one of the pieces from Star Wars. Is like one of the blasters from the set.
Cool.
And he made a big mistake with it.
I went to the airport and I said, I'm going to take it with me because if I send it down, I was stopped in security in Heathrow and the guys unwrapped the thing and they were like, oh, what is that? Weird. And I was trying to grab it to say, no, it's just a prop. And everyone, no, don't touch it. And one guy recognizes me, but from Narcos, not from Star Wars.
Well, I was going to say, the way you wrote it, you go, Diego Luna was stopped at the airport for having a weapon from Star Wars, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Then I thought maybe you said it wrong, and it should be Diego Luna from Star Wars was stopped at the airport for having a weapon. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, I thought it was...
He was stopped because he had a blaster and they thought it was a real weapon.
What's going on with It Ends With Us? By the way, there's a documentary on Max about the whole Justin Baldoni freaking Blake Lively thing, which is so compelling. It's an hour long, and it seemed like it was 5 minutes long. I went through it real quick.
So I think when this whole thing came out, we were like, don't you think we would hear from some of the crew members? And now some of the crew members are talking. One specifically was in an interview in Australia, and she was asked about the whole thing, and she was definitely Team Justin.
Him genuinely pitching that he was doing this film to help young women, I just find it hard to believe the allegations, to be honest.
As a woman yourself, did you ever feel uncomfortable at all in your dealings with Justin?
No, not at all. I would say I felt more comfortable being around Justin than a lot of film directors in my experience. I feel like maybe Blake smelled his kindness, mistook it for weakness, and tried to take advantage and take power. So, yeah.
That's a hard charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Blake Lively has left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth.
She has, and
Yeah.
part of it is like if you were a judge, like if I was to be on the court, a jury person, I would have to remove myself because of all the videos I've seen where she's mean. I couldn't give a
You're
fair
biased
thing.
now.
Right. I'd be like, I can't. She seems so mean and all these. She's so mean to that pregnant lady.
Yeah, that's the one
And
I always think about.
I'm like, I can't be on your side right now. I need it. But if you watch the documentary on Max, it's pretty good too. And I think they try to do it evenly, but I still think you lean towards Baldoni after the documentary. Yeah.
I feel like people have a bad taste in their mouth about Blake Lively the way they do about the space mission that happened.
Yeah, they're just a little out of touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. A little out of touch.
Yeah.
Get your sexy out. Go ahead, be gone with it. Get your sexy out. Go ahead, be gone with it. Get your sexy out. Go ahead, be gone with it. Get your sexy out.
You ready?
I want to call people that have texted us. Let's just call them. So you just text JJR, whatever you want to say, to the number 96893.
Hello.
Hey, it's Johnjay and Rich calling about your text.
Okay.
Okay, I have your text in front of me. It's all of us here, but this is Johnjay calling you, but I mean all of us are here. So I wanted to get into the meat of your text and what you said.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
And your name is what?
Andrea.
Okay, what did your text say?
Well, I said it's offensive to say that why buy the cow when you can have the milk for free.
And then she said, read the room, dude. Your female population is
room.
disgusted.
That's right. That's right. That's something that my dad used to say, and he's not even alive anymore. We don't look at relationships that way anymore.
Right. So what did you hear me? How did you hear me say that? Like, I feel like you're taking it out of context or, because I was saying it to Peyton, right?
That's right.
But I wasn't saying it to her as I was saying I think I said something like, that's the phrase, right? Do you remember that?
Because it's like you are basically saying you're getting all the things without the actual thing you really want, the wedding ring.
Right. And I was like, that's the phrase, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free?
Right. And the phrase basically means, why would he propose if he's getting all the other things?
Right. I wasn't putting her down or being negative about it, if that's the way you took it.
But that's a negative connotation, that phrase is.
So how else do I say that then?
phrase-
You're living the life of a married person without being married.
Mhm.
Is that a different
Well,
bag?
no,
That's
I
different?
feel like maybe, Andrew, you could help us figure out the
Right.
more modern version of that
Yes,
phrase.
thank you, Kyle.
Yay, you. You're getting what you should get what you want, no matter whether it's married or not married.
I actually brought this up to Kadeem yesterday. I brought up the phrase. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And he was like, well, I don't feel that way, and I am going to marry you. He's like, we're just broke. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's fair.
Okay. But Andrea, are you saying it's offensive because I'm using the word cow?
Well, sure. And, I'm of a I'm of an older generation, and that phrase that equates women with cows is offensive.
Okay, that makes
gotcha.
sense.
Okay, it's not the.
But it's not that, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's like. Well, I think what Peyton was saying is there was a picture of her that got posted from her boyfriend's grandma, and her grandma referred to Peyton as her granddaughter-in-law. So Johnjay was saying, isn't that like the phrase, why buy the cow?
Right.
When you can get the milk for free. So he's getting all the benefits of being married to you, but he hasn't thrown down
Right,
that
but
ring
what
that you want
Andrea
yet.
is saying is, like, when you refer to the woman as the cow in that
That's
situation, that's the
offensive.
offensive part. So I was thinking, what could we use as a new one, right?
Chicken.
Why buy the bus pass when you can get the ride for free?
Right. Right.
But it
Something
also
along
brings
those
up the
lines.
Why
whole-
buy the chicken if you
it
get the
also
eggs for
brings
free?
up the
Exactly.
Exactly. But also, it brings up the whole thing about what the men want.
I don't understand that
what
part.
about what?
What do you mean?
Well,
like getting the milk
why-
for free. You're getting all the goods for free.
Yeah, why should the guy buy the cow if he gets the milk for free? Well, why is it all about the man? Why isn't it about
Because
what the woman
she's
wants?
waiting for the man to propose, and he's not going to.
I know,
The
but
phrase
why
is
should
he's not going to
she-
because he gets everything for free. Does that make sense? It's not about a cow and a heavyset person. It's like that's the best analogy they have because you have a cow and you're getting milk for free from your neighbor. Why do you go buy the cow when your neighbor's giving you all the milk for free? It's not about
It
weight.
just-
It's an analogy.
Nobody's talking about weight.
Well, you
We're
did.
talking about
You said it's a.
No,
you're
I
associating
didn't.
a cow
Maybe
with a
we're
woman.
misunderstanding what she has the problem with the phrase then. It's not about.
The problem is with the ownership of the cow. Like, it just implies that the man already owns her. why should he marry her?
Got it. Okay.
That makes sense.
I think it's easier to understand if you were around when older people used to say that, and you're all too young for that, which is wonderful. But it used to imply that the man already has what he needs and wants. Why should he marry you?
Right. That's the point.
Well, I get that part.
But I'll tell you
she's
why.
saying is like, why doesn't the woman get what she needs and wants?
Right, but she's not getting. But here's the thing: Peyton wants that, right?
Yeah,
Peyton
in this context,
Peyton wants the ring.
In this
Peyton
context,
is doing everything that a wife does without having the title of wife.
I don't know if I agree with that because I don't really cook and clean. And if he puts a ring on my finger, I will cook and I will clean.
I heard you talk about making a whole bunch of stuff last week.
Yeah, but I'm not good at it. I cook maybe
whether
once a
you're
week.
good at
I
it or
go
not, it's not
grocery
about-
shopping
now-
like once a month.
Now you're talking about whether you're good at it or not. That's not what we're talking about.
So you know,
We made
here's the
Zupa
thing,
soup last week.
I did. That I did.
And you said it was better than your mom's and better than Olive Garden.
It was,
So I
but
would
I
say
don't
you are
cook.
good at it.
I just don't do it.
So,
But anyway.
Johnjay,
What?
Johnjay, your intention was not what I'm saying it implies.
Exactly.
Your intention was honorable, but I just wanted to alert you that is a phrase that for people of my generation is going to put them off because it used to mean other things.
Yeah,
and so it's just like when someone says, I Jewed him down. I also bring to their attention that, hey, you don't want to say that because Jews are going to be offended.
Yeah, I think most of us get that one.
Yeah.
I think that's a tad different.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Okay, it is different. I just try to bring up that.
What about say, hey man, that guy bought the farm. That means he died, right? They kicked the bucket. He died. But does that? But is
It's
that
offensive
offensive
to buckets.
It's offensive to buckets.
Yes.
Don't
As-
kick that bucket.
As a bucket owner, I'm
Who would
offended.
that offend? I don't know.
I know. All right. Okay, well, thank you so much for your text.
We learned something.
We
You
did.
are so welcome. I'm glad I could enlighten you.
Good. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Ever since I was a kid, knew I was a timeless, 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 we timeless now.
Johnjay and Rich, a lot of comments on the woman we just spoke to, a lot of text about it. I think Gail's got hi, Gail, about the woman, the cow for free comment. Gail, hi.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good. I feel like she wasn't articulating her point very well because the reason that phrase can be offensive is it's from like back in the old days where, you know, if a woman had sex before marriage, she was tainted and not, you know, she couldn't have a family and she couldn't be a good woman. And men could sleep with those loose, trashy women, but then marry the good women. But there was no male equivalent of that. Like, men are never cast aside or seen as less than for premarital sex versus postmarital sex. So that's why this phrase is antiquated. And in today's climate, I don't know if you know, but equality is kind of a tough issue right now. So this kind of phrase just adds on to that. I think there's a lot of phrases we use in everyday language that we don't know where it came from. And if you really analyze it and tear it apart, it probably is offensive in some way or another.
Yeah, you're
But that's
probably right.
not what I was doing.
No, absolutely. And Johnjay, we all know you always come from the purest of intentions, even if the delivery doesn't execute properly.
Yes, thank you.
I think we all know that about you.
It's funny you
but
say
yeah,
that because
but, you
listen,
know,
there's a text that just came through. It says, this woman talking about not buying the cow is really silly. It's probably one of the least offensive things Johnjay has ever said. And she's like, then she goes, I'm surprised no one has been disgusted by the way Johnjay was talking about watching his teenage babysitter by the side of the pool. I never did that. Never had a teenage babysitter. I have no idea what she's talking about. That's never happened.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's never happened. I had a babysitter in her late 20s, and I came home, and she was with the kids in the pool, and she was in a bikini, and I was like, oh, my. That's it, but she was not a teenager.
So bad.
I mean, if that's what she's talking about, but that was like freaking 15 years ago.
She's still bothered,
Yeah,
though.
she must be. But, Gail, you're awesome. Thank you so much for calling in.
Hey, you guys are awesome. Have a wonderful morning, and thanks for starting my days off right.
You too. Thank you, Gail. We need a contestant. We're going to play a game. I should have said that first. 877-937-1047. I think are we playing for Ice Cube tickets? Yeah,
I
Ice
think
Cube.
so, yeah.
Ice Cube's coming to
That
town.
would be such a fun show. I feel like I love Ice Cube.
Yeah, so call 877-937-1047 while Nick is fighting as a contestant. Do you have a contestant?
I think he's still working on one here.
This is a perfect time for Ice Cube tickets. It's getting hot out there. Right, guys?
Hey.
And that's why people come here.
Right. I wonder where
classic.
he's performing, because I remember 50 Cent came here in like the summertime last year, and he ended up canceling his show because it was so hot outside.
I remember that.
You remember that? And people were bummed out. So I hope he doesn't perform at like an outdoor venue because
He might melt.
he might melt.
Oh.
Getting back to earlier when Rich was talking about how he made his wife cry, songs that make you cry.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great text. This is a really, really good point. And if I really let myself go there, it's the emotion of the song. I don't know what the words are about, but this person says, all the songs from The Greatest Showman make me cry when I listen to them. Some of those songs really...
This Is Me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
for
good one.
sure.
Okay, hold on.
I'm glad that I watched that movie, so now I can. Yeah, I know. I'm so good.
That's the one that gets me is the never.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I don't listen to the words. It's that vibe of that song. You know, when you're watching it, and then she's all, hurt. D, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, we're going to play a game. What game playing, Grant?
Oh, brother, we're playing the 4-second rule. Okay. America's favorite and fastest game show here played on the Johnjay and Rich Show. Basically, I'm going to go around the room, give everybody a category, and you have 4 seconds to name 3 things in said category. Now, D, you're probably wondering, what does 4 seconds sound like? Rich? That's it. So, D, you're going to have to answer fast. You got it?
I got it.
All right, Johnjay Van Ness, we start with you. Katy Perry and others went to space, and we're only up there for about 12 minutes, right, this week? A big deal. So, Johnjay, in 4 seconds, name 3 celebrities you wish would go and stay in space.
Kanye, James Van Der Beek, and Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Wow. He's going to start the mission. He's going to take us to Mars. I like that.
If you wanted someone to start a new world up in space, Tom Cruise would be able to do it.
Ultimate astronaut vibes, Tom Cruise. All right, nice job, Johnjay.
Thank you.
Rich Barra, counterfeit Ozempic. If you listen to the show, apparently it's hit the streets, and it's bad news.
Bad news, very
Stay
dangerous.
away from it. So, Rich, in 4 seconds, name 3 counterfeit things you would buy.
Fake guitar, e-cigarettes, and TVs.
Counterfeit e-cigarettes is like the least, but I like it. I like the enthusiasm because I would buy those. So nice job. All right, Peyton Whitmore. So scientists came out and said the 5-second rule is fake, but we're playing the 4-second rule, clearly real. So, Peyton, knowing that new information, name 3 foods you will always eat off the floor.
A Tootsie Roll, a piece of pizza, and cheese.
Nice job.
Floor cheese, delicious.
Yum.
Except when you get the little hairs
Ew,
on it.
that's when
a
it's
real
gonna
bummer. Real bummer. Kyle Unfug, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Jeff Bezos sent his fiance to space. That's the ultimate errand, right, guys?
Hey, babe, I need you to do this for me.
The ultimate errand. So, Kyle Unfug, name 3 places your significant other is always sending you.
Ace Hardware, the grocery store, Walgreens for prescriptions.
I think you'd be like, name 3 of your fiancés that you want to put in space.
It's not bad.
How many times you been engaged? Twice.
Once.
Once?
Well, twice, including the one I married, but once outside of that.
Okay, so twice.
Yeah.
So you would
It's
only
not
have
a
2.
J-Lo situation over here.
My mom was engaged 5 times.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. What a tramp.
Very desirable.
I know.
Let's go.
D!
Yes,
All right. Did you get your taxes done?
I did.
Did you get a big refund?
I didn't look at what my refund was.
All right. Well, hey, D, in 4 seconds, name 3 things you could buy with that tax refund.
Disneyland tickets, concert tickets, and pizza.
Pizza. Nice, D. We got everybody on the board. This is incredible, unprecedented 4-second rule today. Johnjay Van Ness. Johnjay, in 4 seconds, we know you as Mr. Clean around here. And we all talk about it. That's your nickname behind
Mr.
the
Clean.
scene, Mr. Clean.
Because I'm losing my hair.
You're just always cleaning, dude. Yeah, everybody's talking about how tidy you are. So, Johnjay.
I didn't know that has come up.
Johnjay, in 4 seconds, name 3 things you need to clean all the time.
The chair you're sitting in, my teeth, my ears.
This chair hasn't been cleaned in a long time, guys. Rich Barra. Today and every day is Kate Appreciation Day in honor of my wife. Just shout out to my wife. Kate,
Is it her birthday or something?
No,
or
it's
just Kate Appreciation
just always
Day?
Kate Appreciation Day
Fair
around
enough.
my place. So, Rich Barra, in 4 seconds, name 3 famous Kates.
Kate Winslet, Katie Holmes, Kate, the Queen of Scotland.
Judges.
Are you going to take a Katie?
Queen of Scotland?
There
Was
was
it
a-
Kate Middleton?
There's a Kate Queen of. There was at some point.
You know what? Good argument. Rich Barra.
I don't know if there's a current Queen of Scotland.
Peyton Whitmore.
Kate Spade.
Peyton. Jimmy John's and Bath and Body Works need to chill out with their emails. They're just blowing me up all the time. So, Peyton, in 4 seconds, name 3 companies that are always in your junk folder.
Oh, geez. Target, Walgreens, and definitely Jimmy John's.
Yeah, they need to chill
Yeah,
out.
Target needs to chill.
4 emails a day. Crazy.
Too many.
Kyle and Fug. Stacks and Hacks today said cousins are becoming scarce. So, Kyle, in 4 seconds, name 3 things you wish there were less of.
Snakes, scorpions, and spiders.
Hot answer. Nice job, Kyle.
Good.
D, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You can win it all here. Big pressure. So apparently in Stacks and Hacks, sunlight in your bedroom 20 minutes before your alarm goes off will help you get up every morning. So D, in 4 seconds, name 3 things that help you wake up fast.
Coffee, yerba mate, and running.
Wow.
She good.
At this game.
Wow, what a game. What a game today, guys.
Yeah.
Really good
Way
stuff.
to go.
So you're going to go see Ice Cube. Congratulations. Also, Rich, it's been looked up, and there is the Queen of Scotland, Kate. It refers to 2 different people. Mary, Queen of Scots, a historical figure who ruled Scotland in the 16th century, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton. Well done.
Well, Rich, I
you
owe
were
you
right.
this. Nice
Yes.
job, brother.
Yes.
Interesting.
Kyle's code for things you need to know.
Apparently, when your child is born, could have a big impact on their future health. I'll explain how next with Johnjay and Rich.
Coffee in hand, earbuds on Johnjay and Rich.
You're up. Kyle, what do you got for 3 things we need to know?
Okay, I found this absolutely fascinating, and I want to hear if you guys feel like it could be accurate. They did this study, and they found out when you were conceived may affect your metabolism later in life. So it turns out babies conceived between October 17th and April 15th, the colder months, tend to have more active brown fat. That's the fat that burns calories, helps regulate your blood sugar, keeps you warm. So these winter conceived kiddos also tend to have lower BMI, less fat around their organs, and more energy overall. Meanwhile, another study found that summer babies are usually taller, healthier at birth, and go through puberty a little later in life, if I can get the words out. On the flip side, babies conceived in January and February had a higher risk of developing food allergies, especially to milk and eggs.
What a trip.
I know. I was like, oh, that's kind of fascinating. Stuff like that is like really crazy to me because it's like, why would the time of year
You wouldn't think it would.
affect that
Well,
other than genetics?
If you go by what you said, like I'm against all that. Like I break that because my parents, I think I was conceived probably New Year's Eve. I'm loaded with brown fat. I have no metabolism. And I'm tired.
Brown fat's the good fat.
You're tired.
I'm tired all the time. I'm the opposite of everything you just said, and I was conceived in the wintertime.
But you are an anomaly, Johnjay. You are not like the rest.
Then this study is worthless. A different study found something also pretty fascinating, that patterns in family structure, particularly the number of gender of siblings, may be connected to your likelihood of identifying as asexual. If you don't feel like ever getting it on, like that's your orientation, they found men with more siblings were more likely to be asexual, while women who had fewer older sisters or only children were also more likely to report that. Isn't that fast? Like all the things that like affect these things are
Your
pretty.
parents really screw you up just by bringing you in this world.
I know. Puts a lot of pressure on you if you're a parent. This, I feel like it could be too much, but it's also kind of funny, and I don't know if it's going to be popping up all over the place, but an Indiana woman went viral for posting her receipt from a pizza place. She ordered a couple Miller Lights. The server accidentally brought a Bud Light instead. Since it was already open, she gave it to him for free and then brought the Miller Light too. Well, the person complained, and when they got their bill, it came with an extra $5 bitching fee for her complaining about
The person complained that she got free beer?
Yes. She's like, so I think the server was like, oh, okay, you don't like your free beer? Well, we're going to go ahead and add $5 for
That's
complaining.
funny.
I'm like, I want to meet the manager who approved
Yeah, it's
putting
pretty awesome.
these fees on people's tabs. Like,
Yeah, just
is
be
the bar
grateful.
known for this sort of thing? It's pretty funny, but I'm guessing, like, if this is a thing this bar does, it could be, you know, a badge of honor when you get one of these fees. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve. It's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21+. Terms and conditions apply.